welcome back to my channel. So hopefully this episode will be somewhat of a treat. So I've prepared the Model T over the last few days for a car show tomorrow, and I'll be taking two cars to the car show. I'll take the Morris 1100S and the Model T. The Model T is going to be trailered. I'll put the New York plates on it. I've got a rear axle work to do. You might have seen the last Model T episode. Some concerns with brakes, and then further from that, some pretty serious end play in the axles, meaning that the housing's probably moving back and forth, meaning that we're probably close to losing all vital contact with the pinion gear. So it needs to have a full rebuild, which I'll obviously take you through. So yeah, it was quite a bit of effort getting the brass to come back. It's looking pretty decent. So what I'll do is I'll bring you back once I've done the Morris. The Morris will be this afternoon, and then of course the car show itself. It's going to be a big car show. There's all of Perth's car clubs invited into the one location, and there's all manner of cars. A lot of Australian content. So for those of you outside of Australia, you get to see some Aussie cars across the ages, hopefully. Okay, see you soon. Well, here we are, morning of the car show. Just on my way to pick up the trailer. And I have some level of apprehension, not least of which is the fact the cars are perfectly presented at the moment. And I've got to get them down to the car show without too much carnage. But I don't know. I think the brass work is going to, on the Model T, the brass work's going to be somewhat brought back to a tarnished state again. But I did see a guy that just drove past in a Cobra, looked like Cobra kit car, topless, and he had a beanie on, and he had his face turned away from the weather as he was driving. Poor fella. And it looked nice and clean as well. I think he's on his way there. But so it looks like we're all just going to be, for the first hour or so, if not more, just trying to do what we can to get all the road grime off. So the strat is to still try and get there as early as possible. It's only just ticked over 7 o'clock. Go home, load up, pick up Claire. Claire's driving the Morris. And just take, as I was going to anyway, just take some quick detailer, some window cleaner, and a whole bunch of cloths, also some Brasso, just in case. You can't predict these things, eh? It's been days, it's been months without rain, and here we are on the morning of a car show that's been prepared for, and this is what we get. But anyway, you get what you get. It should still be a good day. Actually, showers are clearing. That's the funny irony of the situation. I think by midday there'll just be some passing showers, if not even earlier. So it's just one of those things. Okay, we're here at the Perth Classic Car Show, and the weather's held out, unfortunately. And as you walk through the entryway, we've got a display of Corvettes here. 58 C1 Corvette. '73 Stingray. C4.
No, I love it. It's a good car. I think I'll be very good at fair play.
Nice candy apple red. Cut through here. Z06. C8. Okay, we'll sneak up on some Valiant Chargers. For those Americans watching, this was our version of a Dodge Charger with a Hemi 6-cylinder, 265 cubic inch, triple Webers, rated for about 300 horsepower. Have quite the following, these cars. I think the 265 was a truck engine back in the US. So this is our E-body equivalent. And that one's got the 318. And Dodge Charger in a US left-hand drive. Judging by the plates, could it have a 426 in it? Is that a Fury? It's not, it's a Royal, Chrysler Royal. Australian delivered. It's another Valiant. And here's a rare one. VH Pacer. This was the 4-door version of the Charger, if you like. Different carburation, so it's got the 265 in it, but not the triple Webers. And the Ute. These would have been a Dodge Ute. Don't think you could buy a Valiant Ute. And they've tricked it up with the triple Webers and the aircon. Oh, and the mural. Okay, here's our R and S series Valiants. There's an R series with a slant 6. Looks like a 4-barrel. And these have the very distinctive spare tyre carrier on the back. And here's the S series in contrast. Again, 225. Push button auto.
It's a nice colour,
I think they're a 904 Torque Flight on these. Good turnout. Remind me a bit of a Studebaker on the front end. Alright. We have a lonely little, I think it's a Reliant Scimitar. You've got $22,000 for it. Tell me he's dreaming. Okay, some more homegrown machines. Supercharged. HSV, Holden Special Vehicles. This is the HSV Club in Western Australia.
Tell me it is.
Yeah, these are all LS engined. Someone may correct me if I'm wrong. These earlier models, not sure whether they're LS. This one certainly wasn't. This was 308 Holden. I think I'll sneak up on this Torana. Okay, move on over to our VW Club. Leyland, wearing what could be fake patina. I'm pretty sure mobile phones went around back in the early 70s, late 60s.
Very cool. This is more the old school.
Original plates.
Very cool.
Yeah, this is my kind of style. Unrestored. Proudly wearing its nicks and scratches and dents. Campmobile. Australia. We've had some big money invested in this paint job. It's absolutely immaculate. Full resto.
No, I do it. You saw it, you should see it. There's two of them.
Twin carb. Another full resto. Very nicely done. I do like the grey and classic white. Okay, here we are at the Model A Restorers Club. Nice lineup of. So the first few being 28s, judging by the license plate. The Ute. They say we invented the Ute in Australia. Could be controversial to my American friends. No, that's a Ute. That's a boat slide. Yeah, Utes are a thing. Okay, now my car club section. Jeff's selling his by the looks. Look, there's mine. Little Morris Mini Cooper S. It's a mid to late 60s one, I would say. Sneaky Range Rover. MGB. Morris Minor Traveller. Lovely paint. Sort of oxidising without being polished. The Morris Minor. Note the semaphores on the side. Jaguar XJ6. Sorry, XJ40. And an HR Holden wagon from about 66. It's got the 186 cubic inch straight six. Sporty one. Here's a HD Holden, previous model. This would have a 149 or a 179. It's got the 149, straight six. Pontiac Firebird. It's got the big block. 6.6, what would that be, a 428 or something? Mark 1 Mustang. And a Fox body Mustang. I was going to say, I didn't think they came to Australia. It's left-hand drive. Another Mark 1, left-hand drive. Okay, what are we looking at here? Fiat 124S. I feel like we've sneaked over into the Fiat section, so we'll just keep going this way. Ford Mustang 2.
Yes, and I need a photo.
Struck by the fuel crisis, they made these. Not really my cup of tea. Very heavy-handed. Big bumpers for the meet the bumper regulations in the US at the time. 289 convertible. 66 or 65, not sure. Got an Excalibur. Oh, 62 Buick Special. 3.5 aluminium V8. Very, very characteristic Buick. Decals down the side. Lovely patina. Some more Mustangs here. 69, 65, and this would be XL Falcon and Falcon Squire. These didn't come to Australia, I don't think. And it's another XL. Early 60s, don't quote me on the actual year. Morris 8. Austin Healey with a hard top. Wolseley 6, 99. Oh, a slammed, what is this? Jag? Alvis. 53 Alvis. Messerschmitt. Is it a Messerschmitt? I think so. Okay, so this Model T was found in a barn pretty much in this condition, with like the horns on it. It's got some snowshoes on this side. It spent its life as a rail survey vehicle and was eventually given to the owner when he retired because it was too old to sell basically or use. So this one's been all over America, in the north west I think. Okay, we've got a newer Jag. Okay, we've got, I think, is that an XP or an XM? Beautiful. Beautiful paint. And of course a hard top, lovely. Chrysler. It's a 1930 Series 66 Royal. We'll over to the Chevy. 56 Chevy by the looks. Yep, 56. Love the colour. Oh, and a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. Oh, it's a Bentley. Sorry everyone. Bentley version. There's a later model Rolls. Silver spur? Not sure.
Kathy.
Chevrolet. Oh, and a Holden Kingswood SL. HZ, late 70s. FC 59 Holden. And there's my little Murray. And back to the start. Okay, entering the Torana Car Club. For those non-Aussies, these were loosely based on Vauxhalls of the day, although sort of ruggedised for Australian conditions, often shoehorn bigger engines into them. There were 6-cylinder versions, and of course as the years progressed, shoehorn V8s into them, so it's a 5 litre Holden's own V8, 308 cubic inch. These dominated racing back in the day, just the power to weight ratio, and those are factory guard flares there, so they've wedged big rubber under them, as you can see. I mean, this is a classic example.
And it's very nice. Yeah.
What we'd call a hot wire. And that's a... what size is that? Can't see. Yeah, 255. Yeah, they frequently put a alloy drop tank, fuel tank at the back like this one.
You know, I've walked all the way.
Yeah, pretty muscly.
Years ago.
Okay, this is the Bolwell Car Club. So we've got 4 of them. Not mistaken, they're a kit car. Oh no, factory built. Factory in inverted commas. Let's see what's under the bonnet. Holden straight 6. Interesting. This one's got Holden, yep, 179 cubic inch, 5-speed Toyota gearbox. Good. I'm going into the Riley Club. Thoroughly British mark.
The same wheel at the back.
Riley 1.5. Looks suspiciously like an A-series engine in that. Oh, Torana. Yeah, don't know much about Riley's, but I would suggest they were sporty and expensive for the day. Kind of tucked over in the corner here. Oh, look at this one. This has got patina. There's a fine line between patina and uncared for. A twin cam. Here's a full touring setup. 1950. Drop it. Oh, we got some JDMs. These were all available in Australia. Mark II, Crown. Crown wagon. Oh no, Datsun 260 wagon. Love. Wind down windows in the back. Corona with an upgraded twin cam 1600. Late 60s. This one must have been Toyomatic. Oh yeah, Toyota automatic. And of course a late model import, grey import. These weren't available new in Australia. Toyota Crown. Celica. Old Starlet. Coming through the Datto 180B. Originally from Victoria. My second car was a Datsun 180B. Bright orange. It's an actual GTR R32. It's a GT, just a GT. And a nice looking Celica. Corolla. And this would be a Zephyr Zodiac. Not sure what cub I'm in here. Sort of Ford. Old Ford. It's an old British Anglia. Classic English Ford. Oh, there you go. With a Australian Ford XP Falcon thrown in. Yeah, these could be had in 3.3, 4.1, 302, 351 cubic inches.
That's a 124.
Okay, back in the Fiat section. Styled by Bertone, that one. Pininfarina Spider 2000 has a very 80s look. 2000 injection. Lancia Beta. Fiat Dino 2400. Lovely. Flavia.
Actually, I came across the Malibu with that.
Lancia Flavia.
Yeah. That was good for me. Oh, well. Hey, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Good boy.
It's an older 124, eh? Okay. Multiplar.
It should have been 5. Yeah.
I think that's a multiplar. Fiat 600. 500. 73 model. 128. Lancia. Oh. Beefy looking brakes on it. Another 124. I have some Peugeot 504. And there's a midget, a Sprite, Austin Hilly Sprite. 504, 404s, 2 of. I wonder if these are the Peugeots that took off in India under license. Back to the Sprite. And this one's a midget. Looks like a Group A Holden Commodore. Yeah. Porsche. Lotus. Tasty. V-dub. Not sure I'm okay with the World War II German regalia, but there you go. Old Land Cruiser, sorry, Land Rover Series 1. It's a cockroach. That's a 120Y. Volvo 544. Fun fact, these were licensed in Japan based off the A series. And some Renaults over here. We'll just run along past there and then go find some more. I've always had a thing for these Renault 10s. Back as a kid, the policeman across the road used to always find abandoned vehicles, and there was one exactly like this in really nearly new condition, abandoned, which he ended up buying and running us to school every now and then. Rear engine. Loving the this is a 1959. Oh, mid engine clear. Sweet. And an Alpine. Okay. 1952 Ducati 98. Big thumper. It's almost a litre bike. I think I read here that it was. I'm sorry, litre bike, no. Almost 100 cc's, 98 cc. Flat strap at 85 kilometres an hour. Lovely nonetheless.
You want to tow home with it?
RT450.
I'm raving my car. Good old mate. Look at this. Look at all this.
There it is. 67 160 Monza Junior. Just so lovely. Modern machines. 750 F1. 860. Okay, the rarefied air of the pavilion. Late 30s V16 Cadillac. Just the scale of these vehicles. Kind of understated, but geez, stylish. Coupe. Right next to it is a late 50s Cadillac. Gives me an Elvis vibe. And a Fleetwood alongside it, same era. To lug the old family around in. Okay. Couple of Ferraris, F360. 550 Maranello. I'm keeping these bites short because of the music playing in the background. Might get me copyright infringed. That's a V12. Lovely. R34 GTR, I think. No, just a GT, I think. No, it says GTR. Yeah. RX-7 and an NSX. Porsche 911, right alongside a pink Figaro.
Go to there, over there, so we're gonna done. Come on.
And that right next to a British Mini. Okay, JDM Toyota Century. This might be the V12 one. I think they're badged on the side if they're V12. But this is Japanese royalty luxury back here. A 63 four-door Impala. It's got the Volga lure going on in there, which is nice. BMW 3.5 CSI. Don't see many of those around. MGB. And our very own FX Holden from 1953. It's been upgraded with trailer lights. Classic. A Lynx Eventer. I have never seen one. Custom coachwork. An improvement? Not sure. Okay, here's the FC Holden Club. Any guesses for what these were modelled after? That's a 59. Okay, so these have the venerable grey motor. Holden's own straight six. Okay, Tickford Owners Club. So these were obviously fettled by sort of a mainstream tuner that paired up with Ford to produce their top-end sports machines, if you like. Typically supercharged straight sixes, 4 litre straight sixes, and Coyotes. So this would have a Coyote in it. We've even got a Ute. Your early 90s. This one's sporting its patina. T50. And that's a pre-Coyote. The take the badge on the back. Brilliant. Okay, I found myself in the P76 section. So these are Leyland Australia, it's a subsidiary of British Leyland. They lobbed in to Australia, designed in Australia, but at a really bad time for Leyland. They were almost broke, and these cars sort of tipped them over the edge. Did not sell well at all. Rumoured to be able to fit a 44-gallon drum in the boot. But I'm not really sure about the design language. They're very slabby. But yeah, they had their own V8. I think came out of the Rover. Okay, some Vauxhall Vivas. This is prior to Holden kind of rebadging them into Toranas. Speaking of which, there's an early 6-cylinder Torana. They shoehorned a 3.3 litre engine in these. Put triple, I think that was Stromberg carburetors, might be wrong. But yeah, and they took them racing as the GTR XU1. Again, very successful. 3.3 litre tuned 6 in such a light body. Good turnout of them. They're worth pretty big bucks these days. Be out of my league. Okay, so flashback to the mid 60s, 64-ish. EH Holden. So yeah, just put these in the context of, 64 Mustang coming out. This is what we kind of are rolling with today. That one's got the 179 cubic inch straight 6. None of these were 4 cylinders, they were all 6s. I think the smallest you could get was a 149. Spats were in the rage. We had an EH in our family. I had 2 uncles which shared the same one. One owned it first and then sold it to the other. 62, going back in time even further. Right, just some more Holdens here. Let's see if I can find an HK. Okay, very Pontiac-esque styling on the HQ Holden from 72, I think. 71 or 2, I think it was 72. And this would have had a... what? 253 or a 308. So 4.2 or a 5 litre. Well, an X2. This is an HR 66-ish with the sporty twin carbs on its little. I think these might have been a 186 even. I feel like it was still 179. as the Humble FX. Started in 1948. Australia's first homegrown car built by Holden. Holden used to be a coach builder. There's a blast from the past. I used to have one of these. One wasn't a GT, it was a Fairmont, but it had options. So it had that bonnet with the bonnet pins. It was optioned with the quad headlights. It didn't have the fake vents in the guards. It's quite a reasonable. That spoiler is not factory. Mine had like a surfboard style in the back alloy. If I find one, I'll show you. Styled off the Torino in the US. There's an XB GT 351. Nice one. Yeah, this was effectively a facelift. Hello. Yeah, so these were effectively a facelift of the 1972 XA Falcon.
Nice car, isn't it?
Oh, beautiful, eh? Yeah, love it. XC Falcon, which again was a facelift for the XB. Difference being is they ditched the Coke bottle styling of the rear doors on these. They kick up at the back. They introduced a sort of a hockey stick kind of affair. There's the surfboard spoiler that the GT XA hardtops came with, and mine came with one of those. I think it was a bit aftermarket, but it was back in the day. This is an XY GT. And they're incredibly valuable. XW GT. And again, the Americans among us will see just by the side profile what they were originally. They were originally a Falcon. And we made sure they had some decent power, 351 cubic inch. Here's an XA sedan. So I referred to this one as being what the XB was updated off of. Had trouble with these tail lights. Back in the day the roads weren't all sealed, so there's a lot of dirt roads. These went down and the dust just accumulated in the tail lights, and they were a bit of a safety concern, so they made them more smooth. I've got a bunch of Fiestas and Sierras and Focuses, Cordys, Escorts, Mark II, Mark 1. So I've had both the Mark 1 and the Mark 2. The Mark 1 was a four-door version of this in yellow. I ran pizzas in it and then sold it for $1,500. And Mark 2 was my first car. Oh, we got some AMCs. Sold them very low volumes in Australia, but they nonetheless. See, it's a Rebel and it's right-hand drive. Grammy? We didn't get Grammys. Rambler. Definitely got Ramblers and Javelin. Fantastic styling. Bit fussy, but you can see the detailing really must have added to production costs, and ultimately that's what tanked them. Got some Bug Eye Sprites. Got one for sale. Now, this is the Austin Healey section. Wow. Yeah, 3600 Mark II. Big dollars these days. So 3,000, 3,000. MGBs. There's a midget over back. Go and take a look. Quite fond of the midgets. Not sure I'd fit in one though, but the Ley series up the front. These are real track weapons sorted properly. Lovely trimming in this one. MGR Rover. That was a sort of an aborted rebirth. Is it MGA? And MGT next to it. Very nicely presented. Another MGA. MGBs as far as the eye can see. There you go. Oh, there's some TFs up the back over there. We'll wander over. Okay, TCs, not TFs. Just post-war, 49. Yeah, they really knew how to do interiors. Not terribly ergo to have the speedo in front of the passenger, but that's the way it was. A Mercedes-Benz Club, S-Class, right at the front of the grid. Yeah, it's early 90s. Oh, AMG. Sweet. Princess Diana. Tunnel smash car. Moving along, a little C-Class. There's some Tina. .350 SL. I don't know all my model designations, so forgive me for that. 158 SL instead of 190. Yeah, 190 SL. Wow, this one's neat. W111. Slammed. He's bagged it. Decent re-chroming. Wow. Well, this club welcomes everyone, really. Feels a bit like a supermarket car park. Another 190. Remember when these cars were just really out of vogue? Let's wander over to the Triumph section. Stag. With the original Triumph engine. It's not overheated and head cracked. Okay. The Stag. There's never the problem, well, never the UK level problem of rot in our classic cars. Being sports cars, most of them were kept undercover and we don't have salt on the road, so they all survive pretty well. TR6. Let's have a look inside a TR6.
You were kidding, were you?
Overdrive. Truly lovely.
But if it's just going to make you feel, you know, angrier.
Let's go in for some really early MGs. It's 1933. 46 TC. Another TC, top down. They are lovely cars. Could be a Daimler 66 Vandenpla. Again, familiar with these. I had one of these. Only owned it about 6 months. Driving it back from, oh, this is a modern one. It's got fuel injection, modern fuel injection. Drove it back from the car yard that I bought it from. Paid $3,200 for it. It's a Daimler Sovereign. Mine was a Daimler 66 Vandenpla. So that's only a 6-cylinder. That's why it looked very different. Yeah, mine was the V12 5.3. Honest to God, the most thirsty car I've ever owned. I'm talking less than 10 miles to the gallon. Just being driven gently. 40 litres to the 100 kilometres was the worst. Like I was saying, yeah, it broke down on the way back from the car yard. And that wasn't a good sign. They pressure washed the engine bay. And that sort of corroded all the electrics almost instantly. This is an Alvis, I think. No, Jensen. Oh, very nice.
Yes, we were going to come and see you when we went to the policies that night, but we didn't get
Another Jensen. Yeah, so back on the Daimler, it broke down with all of us, family in the car, plus my father-in-law would come for a ride too. And that was it for me. I didn't have the time in those days, raising a small family, to do too much differently other than chuck it on the market and get $2,700 for it. I'm somewhat happy that they maintained their value to an extent. They didn't reach astronomical values. Okay, Mini Car Club. So this is an alternate club that I can join for mine. That's a Mini Clubman, mid-70s. 63. Morris Cooper S. Another Cooper S, another Clubman. They all claim to be Morris Cooper S's. I just don't know. Ah, Morris Mini Deluxe. That's what mine is. It's not pretending to be a Cooper S. Mini Deluxe had hydroelastic suspension, whereas the others had the rubber cone. Good. We've got an early Ford's custom line. A two-door custom line. And a ranch wagon. Sort of ostentatious one-upmanship in the day. Let's see how ostentatious we can make them. Thunderbird. All imports from the US. And a newer Thunderbird here. With the 429 in it. Okay, this is Australia's LTE. P5. So these effectively had GT running gear. They had the 4V 351s. 9-inch diff. Cleveland, by the way. Actually, this one doesn't have 4V. Maybe they only had 2V heads. Oh, well, that's a 73 XA Coupe. Galaxy wagon, looking great. XM Falcon, an XP behind it. Oh, they do have an Edsel. Is he ashamed of his grill? Is he hiding it? I love the plate. I don't think reliability was the issue. It's just the marketing kind of went skew-if. Try to be too cutting edge. This is our Fairlane of the day. Sort of 71. And the Galaxy had the vertical headlights, and it kind of evolved into that Fairlane. That's a sort of a 78. For those UK watchers, Granada, question mark. No, this is the Ford Falcon. This is the XD from 79. I think it went through to like 81 or something. But they very much lifted the styling from the Granada. And these could be had in a 3.3 litre straight 6, or a 4.1 litre straight 6, a 4.9 V8, and a 5.8 litre V8. Mark II Escort. The most common was the 4.1 litre 6-cylinder. It was a manual as well. XB Falcon 500. Back in the day they had the wraparound pilot's dash, you can see. A bit of a rod section from the trailer. Pontiac. Sweet. GTO. You can see what the HQ Holden was modelled after. Z28 Camaro. Any more Camaro here. Fairlane 500. Dodge Coronet 440. Not available in Australia. All the Buicks. Man, that's low.
Then I wash my
Wide.
clothes with all my other clothes and all my
Brilliant.
Next up, you have your fiberglass clothes. You want to get those disposable covers.
It's on the Sabre.
I mean, we used to have them in.
Century? No. Top of the right-hand drive. Could have been converted. Could have also been Australian. Right. Just got one last section over there. The Land Rovers. Okay, very much in military spec. Australian military exclusively use Land Rovers. So some of these will be army surplus. Of significance to me was that I learnt to drive in a Series 2A Land Rover. Can't see one that resembles it, so. Okay, it's like the Range Rover section of the Land Rover Club. Some Defender, newbies, and some Series 1 short wheelbase.
My mate's got one of these.
And there's one in bits.
Big amp.
And last but not least, the Subaru Owners Club. They're all Brumbies for the South Africans, Buckies. Get out of this way. All flat fours. Subaru. Next to the Saabs.
Well, then.
This one could be yours for $82.50. Based on a Vauxhall Vectra. Alright, that's the walkthrough. Gonna head back to the car and have a chat. Okay, so everyone's starting to exit. Show's over. It's quite a good day. The weather really held out. Had a good few yarns with people, and both cars were well received, which was good. Alright, well, thank you for watching this episode, and we'll be back again soon with some shenanigans in the garage. Get this bloody Mini cam bearing pressed in. Alright, bye for now.